White privilege is bullshit.
I guess my question tonight is, how would you best approach a conversation on the left's so-called white privileges?
Well, I mean, white privilege is bullshit, right? Totally. The left uses race to try to divide us. So the best thing to do with these conversations is to try to undermine the premise. Once you get into the weeds on these arguments, if you accept even the hair of their premise, then it's going to be a losing battle. You just want to you want to debunk identity politics before it's even applied to any issue. So, I mean, again, going back to the very first answer, you just ask the questions. What is white privilege? What have I been able to achieve that you haven't based on the color of my skin or the color of your skin? Do you think that we should be defined by the color of our skin? Is there any law that applies unequally to people based on their immutable characteristics? So, and challenge them. Say what you're doing right now is you're just you're just parroting radical leftist talking points. You're playing identity politics, but you really don't know what you're talking about. You really don't know what the implications of identity politics are, or you wouldn't be playing that. And then ask them, define identity politics. Define everything that you're talking about, and I think you'll get somewhere. The other part from a personal perspective, I mean, that's when you're engaging in a conversation with a leftist. But the other part is make sure that you surround yourself with a community of like-minded people. Meaning, I mean, you're already obviously part of the Young America's Foundation. That's the best place on campus. Oftentimes on these liberal campuses, the best place to find people who are like-minded, where there's diversity of thought, is in the YAF Club. It is in the Young America's Foundation. They do a great job of making sure that you don't feel isolated and alone on campus. You already know this. That's why you're involved. It's really important. It's also important to have a family structure that's supportive, to have a faith community that's supportive. And then what I do is I make sure to read every single thing that I possibly can on the right and on the left. I read all of their stupid, ridiculous, critical race theory stuff. I read all of their identity politics stuff so that I actually am able to engage in a debate. Because one of the core parts of identity politics or critical race theory is actually anti-whiteness. They're not just looking to tell history through the lens of marginalized people, as they say. They're not just looking to tell the bad parts of our history about slavery. Obviously, we were all taught about that in school, and all children should be taught about that in school. It's part of our history, good and bad. It should be neutral. But really, if you read their literature, you'll find that identity politics is based in a supremacy, whether it's a Marxist supremacy, whether it's a black supremacy. It is based in an ideology that is poisonous. It's anti-American, it's anti-Christian. And most students on college campus, especially if they're willing to engage in a debate with you, probably don't support that type of radical poisonous ideology. And so being able to show them, say, listen, this ideology that you're talking about is actually racist in and of itself, will make a difference.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.